So, lots have happened in real life recently. I got sick, I had my work schedule kick my ass constantly, it left me with little time to do much of anything, and so, as a result, I have to push all of my non-month related reviews back into next year, after the big game review in January. I apologize for that, but anyway, time for the Patreon board! And we're starting out with a real doozy. The movie critic dude has asked that I look at a really awful movie, that which being Leo the Lion. Wait, no, not that Leo. I already reviewed that one anyway. I'm talking about that one movie that appeared on Netflix.
I'm a vegetarian. I'll say again, yes, I'm a vegetarian. I didn't say a veterinarian.
Yeah, that should be a good indicator of what's to come. You see, this is a Netflix exclusive movie, meaning I had to get the footage from elsewhere. And just look at the quality of the animation. Sure looks like something that was made in the early 2000s, and that's because it was. Leo the Lion was originally an Italian production by Dujas Film, I hope I said that right, sometime either in or before 2005, which would have been their first of 4 products they've made, supposedly, with their most recent being Masha and the Bear. I don't know if it's exactly the same as this one YouTube channel that has videos of it, but whatever. The writer and director, Mario Cambi, hasn't done anything else besides this and whatever this documentary is, but when it first saw a US release in 2013, it was given a well-rounded voice cast. Probably thanks to the Weinstein Company. Really? Weinstein? You sure you saw this and thought, money potential? Well, apparently Netflix saw potential too, since they not only allowed the Weinstein Company to put it on their site in 2013, but they would even re-release it in 2016. Why? Why would you do that? Is it because of the memes? Just because you can capitalize on meme culture doesn't mean it's a good idea to expose a bad movie to a larger audience. That's what Redbox is for. Well, might as well get started. I went bananas last time, but how bad can this lion movie really be?
For Leo, unlike the other cubs within his pride, was a vegetarian. He preferred to eat grass rather than hunt like the others.
I made a mistake! Okay, so they're already establishing our main character as a vegetarian. I mean, okay. Not the first time I've seen a lion who could be considered vegetarian, or against eating other animals. I did a whole retrospective on that after all, but that was at least due to them wanting peace and harmony among the animals and humans. I got one other character I can compare this Leo to, but I'm saving him.
Leo? Where is that cute little lion?
There he is!
I'm hungry. Are we gonna hunt any banana trees today?
Only if that crazy white monkey doesn't steal them first.
You're getting older now, Leo. Far too old for bananas. Today I'm going to teach you to hunt for something a little more meaty.
Okay, so ignoring the really dated animation, it seems fairly basic so far. Leo is at least loved by his mother, despite being an established vegetarian. Do they bring up how or why he's one? Nope! We're just to assume he hasn't grown out of eating plants since he's old enough to learn to hunt and hopefully eat meat. However, during the hunt, his mother tries catching the zebra that Leo was able to spot escaping, and it leads to...
Mom! Mom!
No, Leo! No, Leo! Find the heart of the jungle. There, you will be safe.
Well, that was kind of graphic. Why not throw in some crocodiles too and really traumatize this kid? So naturally, this event made him afraid of water, and without Mother around to teach him and whatever, he became the oddball of the pride since he never learned to eat meat or hunt like a real lion. This is not a dig at vegetarians. Lions are among many animals who cannot live without having real meat. That's why it's rather worrisome this lion managed to live for so long, yet is very malnourished. By the way, this movie has a very strange narrative flow.
Leo would grow up in the forest nearby, contemplating the day he would set out in search of this magical place.
Well, not too long ago, I had worked up an appetite for only leaves and other vegetables. You don't have to eat meat to make sure you don't go hungry. I know I sure didn't.
What you just saw was obviously Leo as an old man, meaning everything that's going to happen will lead to this point. Yet while you may think old Leo was the one telling the story, it was actually his friend, Uncle Lope. He's been trying to help Leo find the heart of the jungle that his late mother told him about, and he's kinda weird.
Where to find the heart of the jungle, but I did find out that a mystical shaman guards the entrance to it. If only all lions were vegetarians, Leo, things would be so much nicer. And I wouldn't have to keep up on my self-defense classes. I get tired of showing these vicious beasts who's boss around here.
Nice sound editing. Of course, it is nice to have subtitles around anyway for those in need of them. Though it also means you have to read what goes on in this awful movie. I should still hire someone for transcripts to my videos, though.
Now see? If you hadn't stopped me, I would have taught that lion a lesson, Leo. He thinks being a lion is all about being big and tough and mean, but it's not. He's nothing but a bully, that's it.
It's called survival, you idiot. Lions have to eat too, you know. So yeah, that's another thing this movie is trying to address. The problem with bullying, which isn't exclusive to lions, and even then, this movie isn't clever enough to handle it the way they like it to. And now, just as we're only getting to know Leo, suddenly we have narration for someone else. Savannah, who is considered the queen of her herd, is having a baby soon and is late for...
Great deal to learn. Children are hard work, so it's best to be prepared. And to the elephant herd, Savannah's baby would have been especially important.
At least with Kimba, this sort of thing might have been cute, because it was treated like a lot of Western cartoons. But I don't get that feeling here, so it just feels awkward. More awkward than having random monkeys wearing Jamaican bean hats, and less awkward than Leo bumping into Savannah and having this happen.
I'm going to...
Oh, come on! Oh, it hurts!
Oh, this hurts so much!
So big!
Oh, I think my baby's coming!
Someone should blur this to make it look inappropriate. Oh wait, someone did. So she begs him to go get a doctor. He's sort of reluctant though, since it's more for her mate to deal with, but then she starts telling us a story about...
I had a husband, Eli Font.
Eli Font? Gah, the pun is so stupid! So yeah, Eli was their king, but then poachers showed up, and as he went to protect everyone else, he was shot to death.
And that was the last time I ever saw Eli. And now, he'll never see our baby. The outsiders took him away to a place called Zoo. I miss him so much.
That didn't look like the kind of rifle used for capturing. And how do you know what a zoo is?
As Leo would later tell the tale to his students, the outsiders took the Elephant King away.
What students? How do you know what old Leo is doing? And what is with the narration? Also...
And now, with you finally out of the way, old friend, I'll marry Savannah. You'll bow before Maximus!
Matthew Mercer, what are you doing in here? This sort of stuff seems beneath you. Also, this is like the second time now I've seen an animal make use of poachers to kill or have someone capture a former animal king. I should not be reminded of Simba the King Lion this way. Anyway, the calves are born.
Now, look around for 2 elephant cubs.
Oh, I'm sorry. The cubs are born. And, getting a little uncomfortably close there, huh, Leo?
Could fetch a doctor.
That's nice.
You stay away from those kids. So he finally goes out to find this doctor she wants, and as he does, we get random animals screaming, because he's a lion, an awkward river crossing scene with a hippo that won't shut up.
More careful! Stop, please! Everyone wants to ride for free.
Crocodiles again!
Look kind of heavy, dude.
And Maximus knows Leo by name? What is the world's social structure like? And finally, he finds the doctor.
Are you the elephant doctor?
Who's asking, you cruel, bloodthirsty lion?
Oh, not again. Look, okay, I'm a lion, but I'm not a bloodthirsty lion. I'm apple juice thirsty. I'm iced coffee thirsty, with a little dash of soy milk.
Don't you dare think I'm going to fall for your trickery, you devil! I know you lions. You've all got silver tongues just waiting to snack on innocent prey. So get out of here, you brute!
Oh, for frick's sake, shut up! We get it! Everyone hates lions. If not for being carnivores needing to live, it's because they apparently are into liars and crap. So he eventually convinces her that Savannah had babies and they head off. But now Maximus starts being more suspicious of things. There, the doctor has Leo take the babies aside so she can examine Savannah. Funny how you didn't trust him enough for being a lion, yet now you expect him to watch the children?
I must apologize. I was wrong about you. I can see what's in your heart.
Oh, when you put it that way, it totally makes up for earlier.
I wish I could see what's in my heart.
Aw, well isn't that just precious? And suddenly jungle fire! Why? How? Well, at any rate, the elephant calves think Leo is their father because they wanted a dad and a mother. But now that they're so far from their mother and the fire is reaching, they have no choice but to go with Leo, who is told by Uncle Lope to use this chance to find the heart of the jungle so that they can all be safe. So yeah, we're really doing this now. As part of this journey, the group finds more displaced animals, like this zebra foal named Ebony, this red monkey named Nanu, and even a cheetah cub named Spots that poachers caught earlier. But before all that, listen to this riveting dialogue.
My mom told me about this place in the middle of the jungle where she knew I'd be safe if only I could ever figure out how to get there, but I don't know. The truth is, I've never known where to look. I've always been alone, except for Uncle Lope. Now I've got you kids to think about, so now we're all on a mission to find it.
Yeah.
So I want everyone to listen up. It's time to take control.
Yeah.
Be brave.
Yeah.
We're going to find the jungle's heart.
Such a perfect opportunity to take children into unknown territory and possibly get killed by who knows what. Anyway, Savannah really wants to find her children, since she doesn't want to lose them like with her husband. Maximus decides to take advantage of her needs to get her to marry him later.
Gaze upon my tusks, my dear. Are these not the tusks of a leader? Maybe a new king? Unless you don't really care for your children.
Now wait a minute, Maximus. My children mean everything to me.
And could you ever learn to care as much for me?
Maximus seems to only be driven by wanting to be king, which means marrying the one queen of the herd. That's really all there is to him. And he's so conceited, even in song.
Big and white and cruel and mean creatures fear me, I'm the king. Watch out when I'm coming through, I just might stomp all over you, Maximus. I get what I want or I will smash you down. Nobody's safe whenever I'm around. March to my drum, you'd better do what I say.
I'm really just amazed that none of the other animals consider ganging up on him. Because really, this guy is full of hot air. Not to mention a really bad Scar knockoff. Don't believe me?
But he's safe whenever I'm around. March to my drum, you better
Gee,
do what
where did
I
this
say.
come from?
'Cause I make the rules, I'm Maximus Elefante.
Of course, none of the songs look or sound good. Well, except maybe for Daniel Emmerman. He does okay as Leo.
Together we'll pull through. It's just a thing you gotta do. When your back's against the wall, you've got nothing else at all. You gather all your friends, you muster all the strength within.
And if you're not so strong, just grin and sing this song.
But at the least, seeing these, well, thought out and established characters and their unique quirks, we'll at least have a more coherent journey.
Well, there they are. This should be interesting. Look at them all playing. Simply pathetic. And Savannah's rugrats are alive. Is that Leo the vegetarian lion? I've heard the rumors.
But you said his name like you already knew him earlier. This isn't your first time seeing him. How did you forget?
And an elephant never forgets.
And God, the slowdown is really annoying. And it's happened constantly for no reason. After Leo takes a fall down the cliff, he bounces down trees but is knocked unconscious. What do the crocs do?
Ah, souffle de lait is on the way!
How appropriate! The frames seem to be delayed. Well, since they don't know if Leo is alive or not, everyone leaves while Maximus tries crossing the chasm. But uh-oh, poachers. And oh, they do have tranq guns. Guess they did capture Eli. Leo finally wakes up and goes through the cave behind him. And where does it take him? An annoying talking turtle.
Find somebody else's shell to lean on if you want some lion tears, my friend. None of that stuff is tolerated around here. My name is Guru, and I'm the oldest creature in the jungle, and some say the oldest in the world. I've lived here for as long as I can remember, which is a very long time, especially when you have no one to talk to. Let me ask you, do you like to talk? I love to talk, but I've had no one to talk to for a very long time. I consider traveling, but where would I go? What would I do? What was that saying my great ancestor used to say all the time?
Shut up, shut up, shut up!
Out with it, what's your story?
There was a terrible fire. And all of a sudden I had this whole litter of cubs I had to help out. And at first I thought it was pretty inconvenient. And then I thought, well, you know, I started to feel...
Proud, that's what you felt. I know pride when I feel it, and you should be very proud of what you've accomplished. Don't ever sell yourself short.
Okay, point is, Leo is proud for once that he got to look after some children. That's in reference to the start of the movie where his pride mates told him a pride is something to be proud of. Let's move on. This turtle is really grating. The turtle teaches him about following your heart and then takes Leo to the other side of the cave. Meanwhile, Uncle Lope and group travel through the elephant graveyard, and just to further the Lion King comparisons, they get attacked by hyenas. Leo returns just in time to help by getting the vultures to fight with the hyenas through complimenting them.
They can't even fly, but look at them laughing at all of you.
This lion has nerve. He's going to be an hors d'oeuvre, and those birds in the sky are going to make vulture pie. Attack them!
This makes no sense, yet it's working. Oh, and Spots and Nanu finally become friends after all the time they were fighting, bickering, whatever. Maximus finds himself in the graveyard and still high from the dart. Now he's become a quivering baby.
It's him! The king! I'm sorry. I betrayed you.
Board, 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 padding, padding, padding. Savannah and Herd are looking for them, and the kids are still hungry for milk. They find a herd of zebra, and one that's got a kid, and...
The children are hungry, and the zebra has milk, but she won't give it freely. And if you scare her, she'll run away.
And then Ebony might never... I get it.
Exactly. I'll draw her out, and then, you'll appear, and then we'll corner her with that little deal.
I don't like where this is going.
So silly. Sorry, I just got excited. There's gonna be a reunion!
Movie, if you don't want me to start comparing you to a low-quality video game, stop teleporting characters out of frame, please. And then...
Now, Leo!
Now let's cool it down.
Now, madam, what would you exchange for the good news that your little one escaped the fire?
But is it true?
Ebony is safe.
Then they all start nursing on her mammary glands that keep appearing and disappearing between shots. After that, they say goodbye to the zebra kid, since this was in fact her mother. Eventually, after this one storm, they see a rainbow, and it causes some spot to open up. What? It seems lackluster for a place that opened up by magic, but then they meet a chameleon called the Rainbow Shaman.
You've made it at last. What a great leader you are.
Me, the leader? No, great shaman. I'm really just a sidekick. I provide moral support and comic relief.
Oh no, the film is becoming self-aware. Hide your children!
Leo the Lion, I've heard the name. A vegetarian? That's your game? Some would say you have no bite. Would you agree? Would that be right?
Well, yes and no, Your Majesty. I mean, I'm a vegetarian, and I'm a lion. And a lion is supposed to be the protector of the whole jungle.
Funny, everyone seems to treat them as bullies and liars. Make up your mind on what lions are to everyone. Also, this song is very blatant in what it's teaching. Be kind to others and be true to yourself. In any case, Leo says that while he wanted to find this place to fit in and not be bullied, he's just now concerned to keep the little ones safe.
These children have stolen my heart, and all I want for them is to grow up and have a life where they know they're safe. I would do anything to ensure that. I'd even tell the world I'm a vegetarian! Even if it means getting made fun of.
Every lion has a share, some more than others to be fair.
No. Fast forwarding.
I'm not afraid anymore! I'm free! I'm totally free! The heart is within! The heart is within!
Okay, so, pulling out my Animal Land comparison, during Chapter 0, which explains what happened with Kuro before the actual start of the series, we met a lynx named Sago who ate nothing but grass. You could say he was a vegetarian, like Leo, but see, they at least had a reason for him to only eat green. He literally cannot eat meat. He was born with a weak body to where he would even throw up the meat he's given. So his character development involved him hating the world where it's eat or be eaten, but found happiness being able to sing, and soon, someone who appreciated him for that. It would give Kuro a reason to want to maybe change the way the world worked, so animals like Sago can live without having to eat each other for survival. Obviously, Sago would only live for that one chapter he's in, and you didn't mind what his dream was or what he was like, given the kind of story the series revolves around. Now, while that series is for an older audience, you would think that for this movie, they'd do a better job at developing Leo as this vegetarian lion who needed to overcome some personal problems he's had. It's just not that strong though with how forced everything is. And really, the film's pacing has been rather quick. There's still about 25 minutes left in the runtime, and already, Leo has conquered his fears of water, learns the heart of the jungle is inside them, but is then taken to another place that's kind of it.
Wow, it's the most wonderful place I've ever seen.
It's more breathtaking than I ever imagined. And the shaman, quite the lady.
This Leo is hardly interesting, and with how everything else functions, it just feels like most generic animated movies. You could do so much better by just watching Kimba. You could not only be entertained, but have more subtle messaging than this. So it's looking like someone is coming. and even though they can only get in by Rainbow Bridge, the shaman has to boot Leo and crew out. But Spots and Nanu can stay. Their mothers aren't going to miss them. Oh, and Uncle Lope decides to stay behind because he fell in love with the shaman. Weird. And that someone who was approaching was Maximus. He acts so condescending with how he treats Leo, and despite everything he learned, he's forced to let the children go because he can't teach them to be elephants. After Leo goes to mope, he learns from Uncle Lope what Maximus has done, and they go back to confront him. But before that...
You little rugrats dare to speak like that to me?
You're so mean. We want Leo.
Yes, I am mean.
No.
I'll crush you two like little grapes. And tell your mama you were eaten by Leo the lion. Now listen to me carefully. If either of you say anything about what just happened, I guarantee I will end your mother's life. And when I'm done with her, Leo will be next. And where will that leave you, little orphans?
Yes, expect these scared little children to be able to cooperate with you. They've only been born for like a couple days now. They're still developing and probably very frightened by you. Leo tries to get Maximus to stop, but then Savannah shows up and he frames Leo for being evil.
But that's not the way it happened.
It was this awful lion here. He was...
Liar!
Oh, I can't even say it. He was going to eat the children.
I thought you were a different kind of lion. I thought you were our friend. But you're nothing more than a vicious, deceitful fiend who's going to eat my baby.
Your kids even just said Maximus was lying. God, this movie is really getting to me. Blah, 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 lions are evil and don't have real families. I hate this movie and its stupid, stupid face. Maximus tries killing Leo, but Uncle Lope interferes and gets trampled. Then he dies.
Dear Leo, my dear boy. We've been on so many adventures together. And what courage you've shown. I'm so very proud of you. You are a true and great friend and a noble lion. And I will miss you.
So then, how would he know that Leo would have students in the future? If he's dead right now? Okay, no. He somehow lived through all that, and he just needed motivation from the shaman to wake up. Now Leo has to go and save the elephant kids before Savannah is forced to marry Maximus. I love how the elephants can apparently make gift baskets when they have no hands.
Oh, this union is founded on deception.
Terrence Stone, you get out of here and go back to Soul Society. Leo shows up and tries to tell the truth to Savannah, who, while scornful at first, seems to ease up as the children are open to helping Leo with what he says. And soon, the other elephants agree to hear him out some more, and Leo tells them how Maximus had Eli captured, which coincides with how Maximus came into the herd right after, so...
But what you did, Maximus, was the act of a coward.
Silence! You all know that I'm the strongest one of all. And so what if it all might be true? You'll all obey me now because I'm the biggest and the best and the master of all, you pathetic fool.
Not unless they ram you together with their tusks. They outnumber you, so size means nothing. But no, it's a one-on-one fight between Leo and Maximus. Needless to say, it's full of quick movements, lots of slow down, and... So before Maximus can go high noon on him, poachers show up and Maximus notices too late as the darts fly and the net lands.
And that was the last anyone heard from Maximus Elefante. Leo's courage was celebrated by the elephant tribes throughout the jungle.
Talk about abrupt! Well, at least we can say it's winding down all... right?
Being allowed in the jungle, that freedom and peace would come to the elephants. Your mother was really grateful. Now the heart of the jungle is our home.
I have seen death. And it looks like this. What in the name of Cenarius is this? This is some nightmare wuzzle imagery. You're supposed to make them cute and adorable, not scary and deformed. But they still have to treat the story like it's still in the present, so no answer to that future timeline.
Thanks for believing in me, Savannah.
How can I ever thank you, Leo?
He enjoyed playing with the young ones whenever he could. He taught them about life. He also taught them about love.
Well, at least it ended with some dignity.
Leeks and honeydew, baba ganoush and chutney too.
Ooh. They say about the things I like to.
Oh, come on!
I'm just a lion who doesn't eat meat. I'm a vegetarian. I'll say again, yes, I'm a vegetarian. I didn't say a veterinarian. Listen again.
Screw it, we're done. What in the hell was this? It's not educational, it's not thought out well, and it's certainly not put together right. Any lessons about respecting others, not to judge by appearances and listening to your heart, gets subverted or contradicted by their own dialogue. 1 minute, lions are evil, savage creatures. The next, we hear that they're supposed to be protectors. And then, no real family! It doesn't know what it wants to do. And while the voice work is fine for the most part, it doesn't change the fact the animation looks really poor in comparison to other CG works at the time. For 2005, this just looks really ugly. And even Furby Island did more in the way of backgrounds and texture than this movie ever did. Now, assuming Dujas Film did make that one Masha and the Bear series on YouTube, at least you can say they improved significantly over the years in the animation department. But this, on the other hand, just feels unappealing. Why Netflix ever decided to pick up the movie for exclusivity, I will never understand. At least they could have picked up something more current or recent. But no, it had to be this one. An annoying movie where no one seems to stop talking, is a visual nightmare, and has a poor story to boot. I'm sorry to everyone who had to sit through this with me, because no one should have to watch this crap. This movie is just trash, and it's not worth seeking out. I'd put it in the ranks of Space Chimps 2 and Food Fight as far as bad movies go. It has a little ways to go to really aim higher in the garbage tier, but nevertheless, this is how I see it. But, thankfully, with the next two requests, we can only move up from here.
From the co-director of The Fox and the Hound and The King and I comes an all-new animated classic.
A son?
They named him Louis.
After my father, Louis. And his father, Louis. My son is destined to be the greatest of all the trumpeters.
Well, I didn't say by how much.